All right, Ben Parker of CardinalSportsReport.com on Three Rivals here with Stanford quarterbacks coach Thomas Merkle. So first of all, I'll just talk about how do you feel the quarterback unit is looking so far?
It's been great. Our mentality going into this competition was wired the right way. The transfers coming in meshed well with the guys that we had. We really set the tempo early. We talk about healthy versus antagonistic competition, and we've really maxed out that bar of healthy competition, pushing the level of the room. Found completions today in the red zone. Everybody operated well when we were in the stadium on Saturday with the scrimmage. We feel really good about everyone in the room right now.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about kind of your background. How did you become a quarterbacks coach, and how did you kind of get to this position here? Yeah.
Yep. Played the position for 4 years. D3 ball, small school in Ohio, Kenyon College. Came on here back in 2020. It was my first year at Stanford. I was working with Coach Carberry in the offensive line. Bumped over with the receivers in 21, and then made my way back home to quarterbacks in 2022, working under Coach Pritchard. So I've been with this quarterback group for a while now. Kind of a seamless transition, taking over the head of the room as the head of the room, because I had known these guys. I have relationships with these guys. I've recruited some of them, and so that's how I got to this point. And these guys make it easy, man. Anyone in my position would be so grateful to work with this group of 5 guys. So feel very fortunate.
Yeah, and talk about what are the main points of emphasis you have for the quarterback room right now as you guys are got 2 weeks out from the game?
Yep. Number one is command in everything we do, and that's a layered answer. There's a lot of pieces of that. Number one is commanding the huddle. Number 2 is mastery of the offense. We have a lot of nuances and a lot of responsibility on the quarterback, and so our level of detail and intentionality that we take in every step of our process throughout the day, throughout the week. And our level of command over every step of that process is, by the time we get out there Saturday against Hawaii, we're going to be in good shape. So,
yeah, and to talk about in terms of, I've seen a lot of Elijah Brown out there, Ben Gorbronson. They kind of seem to be QB1, QB2. I'm not going to ask you to lean on where they're going, but just talk about the strengths of those 2 guys. What are some things they both do well? How are they different? How are they similar to each other?
Yeah, one thing, just talking about Elijah Brown, he completes the football. He's a high-level passer. He does a lot of things well. He's come a long way in terms of his command. Ben obviously brings experience. He can talk the game at a very high level, and his ability to come in and command a room. He's not a loud, outspoken guy, but his reserved nature, his calmness and demeanor in the pocket has really flashed. So a lot of good things for both those guys, and the level of growth that we've seen in that area specifically with every guy in the room is something that I'm really proud of right now, but we still have steps to go.
Dylan Risk, same kind of question. Just what's he bringing to the room as a transfer coming in from UCF, I believe it was.
Yeah, absolutely. His positivity and demeanor every day. I mean, you can't be in a room with that kid and not bring energy. He pushes me to bring energy to every meeting. He pushes the guys to answer questions in the meeting room. And so that's number one. Number 2 is, we saw his athleticism flash a little bit today. He scrambled outside the pocket on a 3rd and 10, picked up the first down. And he's come a long way in terms of his understanding of the nuance of the quarterback position in a system like this. And so a lot of good things early on since, he's been here for, just over a month, maybe a month and a half now. And so for him to have picked up on what he's picked up on and put it on tape, we feel really good about where he's at as well.
Miles Jackson, same question. What have you seen from him? What's he kind of bringing to the unit this year?
Yeah, Miles has really dialed in his approach to the game. This starting really in the spring. He was beating my door down every day to get extra film in and layer his understanding of what we were trying to do on a daily basis, and that has carried him right through the summer and into training camp. And so his aggressive attack of this QB competition has been exciting, and his ability to set and hold the standard for the room of how we want to approach every day has been huge for us.
Yeah, and then Charlie Meyer, same kind of question. Just what he's a veteran. I think he's the oldest, aside from Goldbranson, the oldest guy in the room. He's been here the longest. I think just what's he bringing as a veteran to this room? Yeah,
we lean on him for his leadership in a big way. His voice carries a lot of weight throughout the offensive unit, throughout the team, and when he's on in the meeting room, we're on. And so that's big for Chuck. We rely on him to step up in front of the group, explain things to the group, be dialed in that way. And he's put a lot of good stuff on tape. His base has come a long way in the pocket, his understanding and getting us to the right check. His growth has been a lot of fun to watch over the course of the last 6 months.
I'm just curious, so how do you kind of work with Coach Reich and obviously Andrew Luck played a position as well?
Yep.
So you kind of got 3 quarterbacks on the staff.
Absolutely.
Just how do you 3 guys kind of collectively work together to kind of manage that position?
Certainly. Number one, how lucky are our quarterbacks to be around such successful veteran quarterbacks at the highest level. And so number one, we're grateful for that every day. I have an open door policy for those guys in my meeting room, as you might think. Coach Reich spends a good amount of time with us, and so as I'm buzzing through the tape with these guys, I'll often kick it to him, hey, Coach Reich, anything to add here? And he's got stories dating back to who knows when of this particular play and how it worked out. And so his hands-on approach has been great. Andrew's in with us. He'll help us out in Indy as well. And so we have a really good working relationship. We speak the same language. I grew up in a system with very similar language as a player and early on as a coach. So that's made it really easy. And both those guys, Coach Luck and Coach Reich, have an unbelievable, encouraging demeanor about them. And so their presence and their voice over top of the quarterback room has just been tremendously encouraging.
Final question for you, just kind of looking ahead to the Hawaii game. What are the things, I mean, I'm trying to ask this question, what are you most looking to emphasize to the unit before that first game of the season?
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be that piece of command. We have to go in there with a commanding presence that there is no doubt that we feel good about the play we're in, or we're going to get us in the right play. And play our game. You know, we've had the same points of emphasis going into practice for the better part of 6 months now. And we talk about doubling down on our process. We're in a good spot with our process right now in the quarterback room, which I alluded to earlier. If we double down on that from now until game day, we're going to be fine carrying that mentality into that Saturday.
Well, perfect. Thanks for taking the time, Thomas, and best of luck rest of this fall camp period.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.